Hey you, so today we have Black Widow from Avengers Infinity War. Now, I'm hoping for a few things. I'm hoping that this is going to be exactly like the figure I reviewed, the one from Civil War, that's going to be really fluid and easy to use, because so far I think the only one that I was disappointed was with Captain America. I didn't like him, I was very disappointed with him. This one, I actually really like the box artwork for this. I think she looks really cool. Looks a lot more like Scarlett Johansson than actually these figures here, and I kind of really like the colour of the hair, not this kind of gold stuff that just doesn't look like hair to me. But I'm very impressed that she comes with two faces. So let's have a look. We've got a nice window display so you can see. Then you've got the Scarlett Johansson there, Avengers Infinity War, her weapons, her two faces, and then the signature there. It just says Black Widow you've got here. And then you've got the different parts of her, what you can do. I generally thought they would have posed her a little bit more than just the generic here, here, and here. Just says Black Widow. Top just says Black Widow. At the bottom, Black Widow. So let's open up this bad girl and have a look inside. And here she is. Here is Black Widow. Now, I may have been slightly wrong by saying she doesn't look anything like it. I've got to admit, she looks a little bit like it. I kind of don't like the expression. It's just kind of very... there's nothing there, and I've noticed this a lot with the Marvel Figuarts, but I really like this kind of like combat jacket. Kind of really stands out. You've got the greens, you've got the blacks, and then kind of the head does kind of go with it, but I really wish it was kind of a little bit browner or actually fairer, not this kind of like silver, like sparkly stuff. I really like the zips as well. I think that's a really nice piece of like attention to detail, especially like on the arms here as well. The arms are absolutely fine. It looks like armor, and I really like the fact that it looks like that. We've also got the belts here. It kind of works well. It kind of really works well with the costume, which I like. Ball joints are exactly kind of in the middle. Stingers, I think they're called the Black Widow stingers. Kind of stand out. For some strange reason, just then I was like, oh, this reminds me of Bakudan from My Hero Academia. As we move down, we can see a lot more detail with the stingers. We can see that the costume goes all the way down, again with like the kind of lines that really make it stand out. When you look at it in person, you can't really notice, but when you look on the camera, it looks absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm guessing these things here are for her weapons that kind of slot in. If not, they've just left them in and not really given any kind of things to go inside them, but we'll find that out in a bit. The knee joints here look absolutely fine. It kind of looks just perfect. It looks again more like armor, and it actually looks like leather, so it kind of works with a smooth part. So this is what I mean when I talk about this, is just going through the legs, and then you've got the kind of belts here, but it does look like leather, which is kind of cool. On her hands, they're exactly fine. I noticed a little bit from what I can see just here in the paint, it looks a bit kind of faded to go with the pink of her hands. And coming down to her shoes, we can see a little bit more of her boots and kind of working in. It looks like fine. You can really see the leather working here, which I think is absolutely perfect. So looking at the back, we have a few things. First of all, these two here are the kind of joints that I'm not a big fan of, but I do like the kind of the boots on the legs. They kind of work really well. Also, I didn't really notice until I turned the figure around. Here, you've got these kind of like, I'm guessing they're kind of like pleats. I don't know, I can't remember. Pleats is not the word I'm looking for. But kind of the shoes that have the kind of like, kind of like a material, soft material that's quite stylish. I actually kind of generally like them. I love the way that the color works. It's a slight difference, so it's kind of a greenish thing. It works well with the figure. Coming back to the figure here, everything is exactly the same. You can see the stingers a bit more, you can see where her elbow joints are, and you can see just here that her belt is kind of moves a bit, so I don't know why they kind of left that. That's a bit confusing. I don't know what this is, but I'm generally thinking it's part of the costume. Maybe it's the thing to keep her weapons on the back of her. I would love it if they kind of stuck together. I think that would be kind of cool. And again, you can see more here. This kind of reminds me very similar to Captain Marvel. That's what I'm kind of thinking of. So when you see Captain Marvel in her green suit, I think this reminds me very closely to it. And here at the very back, her hair is very glittery. I do not like the glitter. I think it's the worst thing. I generally don't like it. You can see the hair strands, which is fine, but again, I think it could have been better. I think that if they left it as just blonde, not sparkly, I think it would have made the figure stand out a lot more. So let's have a look at the stress test. The boots are fine. Can you turn it around? yeah, you can turn around the foot like so, and it kind of clicks into place when it's in the right spot, which is fine. So do both there. Again, you've got ball joints, you've got the toe joints. So it's looking at the knee. Now the knees really kind of work well. I generally thought it's not as fluid as the premium like original Black Widow was. It's kind of very kind of like but I'm guessing because it's not a premium Bandai thing. So it kind of like feels like this is like kind of popped out now. So it's gonna be interesting to see how to kind of put it in. It feels a little bit loose here. Arms turn around like so. Hands turn around so you can see that. Hands turn around. Now this is again really kind of loose. Let's have a look here. Oh, again, so that just happened. So I'm not kind of happy with that. So let's just put their arm down. So I'm guessing it's going to be easy enough to kind of pop back in. And the head moves like so. So it moves around. Okay, so let's look at the body. So just by doing that, it feels like it's loosened up, but also kind of feels kind of like I'd hate to say like not a knockoff, but like kind of a really well constructed bootleg. Let's move them. I didn't move that. So try the arm. So like that. And while it's down here, let's try the arm. Like that. So yeah, let's put it back together and continue the review. Originally, I said with other ones like Star-Lord and Doctor Strange that there needed to be more faces, and they must have heard me. Probably not, but they did include a few extra head faces for Black Widow. It's going to be a pain to get off. Yep, it's a pain to get off. So let's change this head. So basically this is just her looking to the other side. Again, kind of gives it a little bit more life to it. Actually looks a lot like her in this one. Is that the exact same one? So this one is kind of a more frowny face, if you can see. I don't know if she's looking anywhere, but to be fair, all the different faces are normal. So this is more kind of arch, like you can see in her kind of like eyebrows. She's like, So this isn't too bad, but at least it gives it a little bit more. I think this face here gives it more life though. But again, at least they're trying. I'll give them that. So you get these kind of little things here that go into the back. Now I kind of thought that it wouldn't be a ball shape. So if you can see it, a ball shape. It just literally just goes in the back. So I had to force it forward and then just kind of attach it like that. One thing, it is on a ball, so you can control how far you want it. So if we move her around, so you can see just here, you can move them there and there. So it does kind of give it a little bit more life. Yeah, I think it gives more. So you do get more other things, such as like kind of longer ones. So this is one of the poles. So you can just unplug it there. And then I think you can do it there. So you can actually, I think, add it onto the hands. This is what Aura needed, or Aqua needed. This is what Aqua needed with her staff. Obviously you have the staff. So if you wanted just to have these, like just kind of normal ones, then you can. So they do include loads of different versions. So I don't know why they didn't just say with those ones could just be these ones. So it feels like they added this to kind of say, hey, you get more stuff. So I generally like it in this pose. I think this looks absolutely stunning. And we pretty much have it on display like this. One thing I really did like is that you can take these apart. So rather than kind of like forcing it down and stuff like that, you can just kind of take apart. Anything that comes with a stand or anything that comes with a weapon like this definitely needs to pull apart to make it a lot easier. I just think this is an awesome type of pose, like just like that. So I am 100% on board with this. Leaving in this sort of pose with the staff, I prefer my other one that I just did, but generally it's not a bad figure. I think the Civil War Black Widow was possibly the best one due to the fact how fluid she was, how she would move, how she could pose, and it didn't feel like it was kind of like jittery. I don't know what's up with Tamashii Nation and the people that produce Figuarts at the moment. It just feels like they're just producing these as quickly as possible, and they're not really kind of doing stuff. Well, they're not doing it right, should I say. The fact is that her arm fell off quite easily in the video. I generally think that she could have been made a tad bit better in my eyes. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I think that this is a kind of better one. So I might keep her in that pose and have her on display. I just generally didn't like the fact that her arm came off, and to be looking at it from now, it feels like she is actually in with Captain Marvel, but also look like she's in with Arrow and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of a thing there. The figure isn't too bad. If you're collecting it for the sake of collecting the Infinity War stuff, then definitely pick it up. If you kind of want to pick her up as just on her own, then possibly. I don't really want to say it's worth it or not worth it. I think that she could have been a little bit cheaper, only just because of the actual what she can do. But I will give her credit that the figure comes with multiple heads, or multiple faces, should I say, and that kind of works out. I'm not a big fan of the kind of like glitter stuff in there, but yeah, apart from that, not a bad figure, just probably not worth the price that I paid for it. So Rangers, your question of the day is, what do you think about this figure? Do you like it? Do you not? Let me know down below in the comments, and would you get her? If you've liked this video, like, favorite, comment, and consider subscribing. Check out all the other videos on the channel. If you want to help out on Patreon, link is in the description down below. And if you want to be notified for more videos dropping, hit the notification bell because it helps out the channel. And as always, Rangers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.